Forge can do anything they want to be. Don't let anyone put limits on you.
Next character is going to be a rogue Forge just to
Dies in the first game.
Yeah.
But no one can find the body.
Yeah.
The greatest triumph. Who's laughing now?
There's just this pile of old junk over here.
You need to make a rogue Forge named Scrappy.
Oh.
and she can do anything, so she could be Scrappy Doo.
Oh,
Get out. Get out.
Oh my god.
I do like the idea that you would just lay down and you would just look like trash. Like it would be like guards walking duty would be like, Bob, pick up your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hide in plain sight.
Woke up in a lucid dream. Now we're hunting for the shards. We might be an oddball team, but at least we've got no bards. World Walkers.
I'm Pedro, the GM and creator of World Walkers. In our last episode, the group learned they spent 3 weeks in the Grey, and that their guide Tompkins had given up to visit his parents in the city of Bridgeport. On their way, they traversed the ruins of Tremesa, a city that never existed according to Brummelstone. Attacked by wanderers wielding crystal-bearing staves, who seemed to have a measure of control over time, the group has now found shelter in a nearby building. As we join them, they discuss what their next move is.
Right. Did any of the original ones leave behind anything? Or did they just all poof?
No, the original ones died and they left their bodies, their staves, and the crystals on their belts.
Yep.
I would like to go and inspect the staffs and the crystals.
Okay.
Yeah, can I make an Arcana check to see if I can deduce the magic and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I would look at those pages.
Yeah.
There's too much for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm too
Vasa
excited.
doesn't care about the little gems. She's actually just going to try to loot the bodies to see if there's anything.
Give me a perception check, an active perception check, Vasa.
Oh, okay.
You definitely find stuff, but I just want to see if I can give you a little more information.
13 plus 6 makes a 19.
Nice.
Damn.
So, you've gotten coins from this place before, right? Like, as you got change back and stuff?
Yeah, as loot, yeah.
Yeah, and so the coins that you find on them are completely different designs, whereas the coins that you were getting were round gold coins with just like a slight inscription on them, maybe. These are beautiful coins. They're hexagonal in shape with the circles cut out in the middle and a special kind of ridge on the inside, and it's intricately designed. Some kind of like emblem or pattern on it as well. So they look like a completely different kind of currency.
So her eyebrows would raise, and then she would loot the other body within range?
Yep. So if you loot all the bodies, you will find 35 of these weird golden pieces.
Okay. 35 weird, beautiful golden pieces.
Now, Brummelstone, you're inspecting the crystals or the staff?
We'll do the staff.
All right, give me an Arcana check on the staff.
22.
It contains some sort of wild energy that you're not familiar with. It is probably Arcana in that, like, the magic on your world, as you know, is really just you tugging and pulling the threads of reality and then interweaving them and tying them back together in new patterns to allow for new logical realities to exist. This doesn't seem to be pulling at threads of reality as much as maybe threads of time.
I like to hear that. I would take the crystal, if I think it's safe to handle, and maybe wrap it in part of their cloak or something.
It seems
To
completely
investigate.
safe. Yeah, you're not worried
Okay.
about touching anything like that.
We'll investigate this later. And then I'll look at those notes.
What about the belts full of crystals?
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it all out. I don't want to be, greedy though, time-wise.
Can I take one of the minier crystals and make it into a cool fashion statement necklace?
Yep.
Well,
Ertleby just wants to smell everything as a rat. And are there any interesting smells?
Yeah, so these people smell rancid. Like they smell like musty, old, mangy libraries.
Libraries?
So good is what I'm hearing.
So yes.
Father's a librarian. Please take the neatness of the libraries back.
Vasa would have directed Brimostone's attention to those belt of crystals because Tiny Tin only took one. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Yeah, so Vasa would ask Brimostones, like, what are these crystals? Are they dangerous? Are they safe? Are they valuable?
And I would say, let me roll a check.
Yeah.
I rolled 11.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that they're crackling with some sort of energy deep inside of them. They seem to be some kind of like battery.
Okay.
Some of them are dead, but
That's the one I always tend to wear. Maybe just wear one of the dead ones and not one of the active ones.
They seem safe. Like you're not worried about them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll scoop those up.
Okay. You're taking all 3 belts worth?
Yeah, I mean, if this can fix a timeline, especially one where maybe this guy doesn't use me to pass a curse into my own village, Brummelstone would appreciate that.
Alright, then you're going through the notes?
Yeah.
The notes are in a language you don't understand. You can make a check of your choice to try to decipher it.
Or I could cast spell comprehend language.
Son of a bit. No, that's fine too.
Which takes like an hour, so it might just be like once we get to a safe place, like these are worth investigating more. Okay. So like maybe on like my watch or something. I don't know.
All right. So the one thing that you do know is that you made a lot of noise in this battle, as guns erupted, spells went off. So what do you guys do now?
Vasa says we should leave this area immediately.
Forto needs to lie down.
Vasa would kind of like push Roberto forward, being like, you can lie down somewhere else. Let's get out of the streets. Let's get out of this alley.
Okay. I agree with what you're saying, but my body doesn't.
Vasa, you know what these buildings are, and none of us do. Would you know if there was like a room where we could hole ourselves up in one of these churches? Or
you for
Team Bliss?
I mean, Vasa recognizes that they are churches and temples, but to her, that makes them and the whole deadish appearance of the area all the more creepy. Like she doesn't. They look like the places that creepy old religious men in robes would be hiding out if they were hiding anywhere. So she's very But yeah, you know what? I don't know if I need to roll for perception of this, but can I one that looks empty and out of the way, I guess.
You could do an insight check for that. Kind of intuit which
one. Okay,
one.
yeah. 13 plus 2 is a 15.
You feel good about a building maybe a block or maybe like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Off to the side. So you guys quickly get your stuff together, help each other as need be, and scurry or scuttle, depending on if you're around or not, over to another building, tuck yourselves in there, and you're not sure how long this building is going to be safe, but you do think that for the time, this is going to be a nice tucked away building.
Vasa would tell the group, catch her breath while she stands guard at kind of like at a window or a door crack or something. Just watch.
Do we have time for an inspirational speech?
Oh yeah. Roberto could use an inspirational speech.
Technically, yes. She would say something. She would kind of look at everybody. She'd be like, catch your rest. We're in this godforsaken place of strange men and dead gods, and we don't know what's coming, but we can handle it. We are together, and we are friends, and we will succeed. And
she fills 10 minutes as required by the feat with that kind of talk.
Yeah, she starts like shadow puppeting a bit to like keep it like extra interesting. But she, in order to add to the inspiration, while everybody's resting in those 10 minutes, she would have shared a story about when she and one of her rogue friends were up against like guards that had cornered them and severely injured one of them, and they really thought that they would not survive the night, but through friendship and resilience they did, and they made it back to their home. that's how she would have filled the 10 minutes.
Sweet.
That's beautiful.
All right. So what's the strategy now?
Portal's ready to rumble. Let's fucking.
First, Vasa would kind of poke Ertleby's fat little rodent belly and be like, "Do you want to change back, grandmother?"
Ertleby would, in response, sneeze as a rat, and then like expand into a human again. And she was like on Vasa's shoulder, but the force of the sneeze kind of like poops her off it. So she just goes like, bloop. It's like I do like a cute little sneezy spin in the air and land on my feet.
Oh, like the bibbity bobbity boop grandmother. Bloop.
Yeah. Excuse me, dear. What an adventure that was. What about those notes? Those notes that I found? The finder of the notes, me.
Oh yeah.
The finder of the notes.
Did we decipher anything interesting from those papers?
Well, it would take like an hour, right?
It would take an hour to cast the spell, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you say there was a check I could do to just kind of guess?
You could get like a gist, yeah.
Okay. I will take that roll. I got an 8 altogether.
Okay.
I'll use investigation.
It is a series of words.
Can I be really inspired to try to figure these out?
Yeah, you can bring your inspiration if you want to.
I'll do that. And I got another 3. That was nothing. So I got an 8 again.
Yeah. So which one do you want to take?
Second 8. It
All right.
feels
Yeah.
cleaner.
That was smart. So yeah, you can't really make heads or tails of it.
Well,
So-
free toilet paper.
I couldn't help but notice when I was smelling these very gross people we just fought that they smelled a lot like a library.
Let's go head to the library.
Okay, done. Good job, Scooby and the gang. Let's do this.
But okay, all right. So should we prepare ourselves by, I don't know, something time, something. What if we get taken really far into the future and never see each other ever again?
Oh yeah, that is.
It's really weird.
Yeah, like I wonder if like there's any way we can protect ourselves from that.
I
Sorry.
say Vasa would have pushed away from the windowsill and been like, "Yes, there is a way. Don't get hit." And then kind of motion from Brimlestone towards the door as sort of like it's your lead.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I would say ranged weapons. Like, keep them far away.
Think we can use our new crystals against them?
I don't quite understand how they work yet. It's unlike any magic I've seen. So maybe after some more investigation.
Maybe this book has something on it. And she picks up the book on exfoliation and just starts flipping through.
You look through that. We'll march on. Maybe there's more in the library. Could
Everybody
you...
freeze. I had a very important thought. If one of us gets sent to the past, we should decide on a spot for them to write a message warning us all what's going to happen. I vote this wall. And so it'll be like points at the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, I know we're about to go out the door, but I wanted to make sure we all knew that if we get sent into the past, we write instructions on this wall right here for our future selves, us now.
Okay.
Everyone got that? This wall.
Yes,
Yeah, but-
Vasa would have patted Ertleby very sort of like, "All right, yes, grandmother, and kind of like usher her away and out the
We can
door.
now resume our planning for the next step.
I feel like this is where we all leave, and then the camera slowly pans back to the wall, and it's just like Doom is written on the wall. Oh, right.
But none of us read it because we
Yeah,
left.
we're all gone.
Doom! Alright, let's get out of here.
As you guys do that, you turn to look at the wall, kind of half jokingly, and there's something written on the wall.
Oh.
What does it say?
Quickly scribbled, it says, and you can't tell whose handwriting it is because it was written in a panic. It says, "They want the crystals."
Oh, shit!
Get rid of the crystals. Get rid of the crystals.
Oh my god! I'm flipping out!
Can I
Tin
eat?
would probably like break the necklace and just like kind of like throw it.
Was it the voice? Was it the voice who did it? Voice, are you here? Voice, are you ready for the walls now?
Vasa locks eyes with Brimstone and says, "We should crush them now."
What if we need them for something, though?
Everyone make an intelligence check, investigation.
Okay.
That's good. I have advantage on that shit.
Oh,
I
got a 4.
I got an 8.
I got a 16.
I got an 8.
Yeah, 4 squad.
Everyone's trying to figure out whose handwriting. No, I would never make ours like that.
No, but Brummelton, you realize that if everybody wrote something down for you, maybe you could figure it out.
Oh. Yeah, we have the book. We all wrote our names. I show you the exfoliation book.
You study it for a bit, and you think you've puzzled out that it's Vasa's handwriting.
Well,
I lock eyes with Brimstone again, and I say, "We should crush them now."
yep, he would slam them down on the ground, pull out an iron hammer, and just smash them.
Mm-hmm. Can you destroy the crystals? All of them, right?
Oh, I kind of want to keep the big one, but no, I've made a promise. I'm going to crush it.
Even tins?
Yeah. If she allows it, obviously. Rumblestone politely jumps up, and you're actually like 7 feet tall, right? So I probably would have to ask. Yeah, I would still.
Sensitive about it. It's fine. Short for my.
Can I have that, please? Thank you.
All right, so you do that, but the message remains.
Now we've got all this crystal dust.
So you don't know if that means that they still want the crystals even if you don't have them, or if the past is going to get like that no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not sure what that means. You don't have enough experience with this kind of weird time manipulation to know if that message is permanent, or if something's still hanging above you guys, or if they are going to want the crystals and now you don't have them. Like, the uncertainty of the issue really kind of weighs on you.
I would like to just say that this is the first time since we started playing this game that I felt a genuine kind of like chill or sense of apprehension. And I don't know if it's kind of spooky, but also I would also say that it would, future Vasa, the irony would have burned her that she ushered Ertleby away from the wall and dismissed it, and in the end it was something that occurred to her to still write on that wall. It would have burned her. If she was not dying, she would have been like, I can't fucking believe this.
Ertleby is drawing pictures of everything that happens because she's worried that we're going to forget. So she draws like a victory of her looking really smart and everyone else looking like stoogey with one eyebrow, being like, it's not going to work.
Someone reading a book upside down, like...
And scribbled next to it are all like these like circles around like the exfoliation tips and tricks. I'm imagining that there's a lot of margins because like everything's written in the margin here. So she's like reading, but she's also documenting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess we really have no choice. It's like Rumblestone would say, I'll protect you the best I can. Like,
well, Vasa would take a deep breath and say, let's get going. Grandmother, why don't you turn into a rat and see if you cannot smell this library?
Oh, that's a very good idea. I think I'm going to do that.
Because of your passive perception, you hear commotion outside.
Okay, well, the moment Vasa heard that, she would have, without much ceremony, immediately clamped a hand over Ertleby's mouth and hissed to everybody else, there's people outside, they're getting closer, we need to leave. Is there a back door to this place? Is there a front door?
You don't hear them getting closer, you just hear outside. So you can either start to mobilize, or you can risk taking a peek and seeing what you're up against.
You know what? I would have clamped a hand over Ertleby's mouth. I would have hissed to everybody to warn them that I hear somebody outside. And then I would have motioned to Tiny Tim to replace my hand on Ertleby's mouth as I go check the window.
Ertleby uses that moment where the hands are passing to say a few words, and in doing so, cast a spell that gives everybody a little more sneaky sneak. So she says, like, very quietly, like, hide my friends from the sounds that be, but if the voice happens, make sure it talks to me. And so then pass without trace happens, and I'm pretty sure that's just plus 10 to stealth for everybody within a certain area of me.
Okay.
And then I would have stealth snuck to the window to peek outside.
Yep.
All right, let's do a roll. Do. That's a 9 plus her 10
Plus
plus
40,000.
my 6 stealth plus my 4 dexterity is a buttload of stealth.
I'd celebrate, but I don't want to give my position away. So yeah, you drop low and you very quiet. Like no one in the area, even the people watching you don't hear you take a step forward as you make your way towards the window, and you kind of pull off to the side and take a peek, and you can see a number of these same figures, same robes and stuff like that. I mean, they all look slightly different. It's not the same person over and over and over and over, but they are gathering out near a fountain, maybe kind of more towards like the town square, and they're gathering together. There's probably about 15, 20 of them, and they're starting to talk. You can't hear what they're saying. Well, you can hear what they're saying, you just can't understand it. And they're going on and on. It looks like they're organizing.
I would risk motioning Brimstone over to the window and inviting him to look as well.
Yeah, I would go over.
Give me a stealth check.
21. Oh wait, then I add my stealth as well. 22.
All right.
Clink,
so,
clink,
yeah.
clink, clink.
Brimstone makes his way over there too, and you're impressed with the level of quietness he brings with him. And he kind of peeks out as well, and you can make an intelligence check if you want to try to just decipher a little bit of what they're saying, because you feel like you should be able to understand it. It's just not familiar enough to you.
So my feet lets me read lips. So if I can see their lips, I'm supposed to be able to translate what they're saying.
Yep. So I was going to give you disadvantage, but I'll take that disadvantage away now.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this like an investigation or?
It's up to you how you want to go about it.
Okay.
Like whatever you feel is most relevant.
I rolled a natural 1, so.
Ugh.
So you sneak up and you look at them, and it looks like they're just going like.
Watermelon cantaloupe, watermelon cantaloupe,
They're too
Watermelon cantaloupe, watermelon.
I don't have my reading glasses.
They're
on.
really just doing a whole bunch of peas, but it sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
I mean, my understanding is that it just gives it to me automatically, but
It does, except for they're not speaking a language you understand.
that's what I kind of figured.
Yeah, so I was trying to give you a chance to decipher pieces of it.
Yeah, nope. This language and me don't get along. It's the second time I've been like, I can figure this out, and it's just like,
Like, you not only didn't learn anything, you got dumber.
I like to think it's just Pig Latin, and so I should be able to really put it together.
What could it be?
The cynic structure.
Well, at this point, as soon as Brimstone kind of went like, ew,
My apologies.
Vasa would have nudged her head towards like the exit in the opposite direction, like maybe the back door or something.
Yep.
And motion to be like very, very quiet.
All right, so you two keep your stealth scores. I need everybody else to make stealth checks.
22.
All of you. Yeah.
Oh, actually, 26.
Well, but you have
wait.
plus 10,
I can-
Enzo.
Oh, wait, I can add. Oh, plus 10.
24.
16.
Wait, what did you roll originally?
I rolled it too.
Oh my god.
I had like a metal fart come out. I was walking over.
No. So everyone kind of moves with like a grace and a level of just elegance that you are surprised and proud of, Vasa, except for Roberto, who is kind of clomping along, and he's like taking big steps as he's
Vaso
like
literally,
regardless of his non-need to breathe, he's still like.
I'm
Is
asshole.
Roberto
Literally.
overheating? It's like, he just hears fans whirling.
literally every step would cause Vasa's teeth to clench.
But you're able to work with him, especially because everybody else is so quiet. You guys can all take a second, get him up to your speed, and the way that stealth group checks work is that as long as the majority passes, it's okay.
Nice.
So you're able to help him compensate for his
Thanks, guys.
heavy, burdensome steps. The Iron March, if you will. And so I assume everyone's going to be quiet and Vasa's taking lead?
Actually, I would have Brimstone lead. Vasa would bring
Alright.
up the rear.
Okay. So Brummelstone, where are you trying to take him? Are you trying to take them through the city and out to keep going forward? Are you trying to take them to somewhere in the city for any number of reasons? Like, what is your approach?
That's a good question.
Especially because since they're just following you, it's purely your decision.
I know. Brummelstone wants to
stealth
get
checks comes great responsibility.
Yeah. Well, Brummelstone is torn. He wants to get this guy, but he also knows when he's outnumbered and outmatched. And he also made a promise to get people through the city that didn't want to go there. So he takes that heed because he's failed his city once and he feels that. So he decides to lead them out of the city and onwards, figuring that is what's safest. And getting the Tompkins and getting the shard is more important than any quarrel he has with these. And he marks this spot in his memory as one to come back and eviscerate. Or at least figure out what's actually going on.
All right, so you begin the very quiet march through the city. You're able to travel about 2/3 of the city. It does take a number of hours. It takes actually the appropriate number of hours because I am terrible at measuring city distances. As night begins to fall, you come across a problem, and that's that the most direct path requires you to essentially make your way through a pretty heavily guarded area. They've got this particular area well scouted, and they're patrolling in kind of wide arcs, so you don't feel... Basically, if you try to double back, you would have to possibly find a way to avoid them. Your other option, of course, is to move in on a section of them and attack them.
And we know these guys are hostile, right?
They look like they're actively searching, probably for you.
It would be at this point that...
Are they human? Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
It's
go.
Oh, it's the same look. They're all in the same robes. They all are kind of mummified with bandaged hands and stuff. But a number of them look like they are much older.
Okay, so it's the same dude, probably.
It would... how close are... 2/3, right?
Yeah.
And what time is it? It's like evening?
It's dusk. It's a little past dusk.
What's the lighting situation of the city?
The sun's almost set, so it's there's still some light. Like if you're out in the open, you're still going to have the sun, but there are long shadows cast over the city in numerous places.
And there aren't street lamps, there aren't torches. How is everybody else... How are they seeing, so to speak?
The light of the crystal from their staff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shite. So we're going to be like pitch dark soon.
No, we have tools to see. It's more of a question of...
We're going to... If we use our tools, we'll attract them. Like the monsters, dudes.
You actually have a really good way to light your path as well.
Go on.
We have the roofs. We could use the roofs now and painstakingly make our way across the roofs over the cover of night.
I was jokingly referring to the Shard of Stardust.
I was going to say,
we could
the
just like
shard.
announce our existence. Pew pew.
Behold!
Hey guys, it's what you're looking for.
Worship our shard.
Brummelstone opens the city map and pulls out the shard. It's like, where are we? Oh no!
No, but assuming that they are, for the most part, patrolling the ground, one, I would recommend that we take shelter on top of the roofs just for the sake of avoiding the ground patrols. But two, it's not like we can move forward easily anyway. If we tried the whole painstaking method of moving from roof to roof, at least we would make some progress.
Can we try like underground, like sewer? Is there any kind of sewer system?
There's
or
no sewer system. They don't.
so
have
it,
it. Yeah.
no, they just poop in buckets like heathens.
This city
They-
is old.
They send it forward in time.
Yeah.
Someone else's problem.
Backwards in time.
There was so much shit when I first came here. I knew it would be a grand city.
Amazing.
All right, so here's-
I would agree with Vasa that we would need to get up on the rooftops to at least like scope out the situation more, or potentially move forward and sneak by.
At the very least, take a perception check to see if we can detect a pattern of the patrol, so that we could risk trying to avoid, like, you know, how they turn around, like one of those video games where you kind of like see their angle of watch, and you just try to, you know, time yourself to go around it.
no one here is a master of disguise, are they? We're in a city where everyone looks the same, so I was kind of hoping if somebody like was good at like disguise and wanted to get closer, we could have them just like dress up like them. We should have taken the like robe of the ones that were dead, so we could just like add them to our sneak. If only.
Yeah, if only.
Why didn't we write
Nobody really wants to see what's under those robes, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it smelled as bad as it did
200
when you were a rat.
200-year-old ball sacks, that's not good.
No, they're pretty gross. All right, if we can't disguise ourselves as them to sneak out, I have no suggestions, and I defer to you leaders.
My only concern about getting on the rooftops is that once we're there, if we get detected, we're stuck there.
True. That's true.
There's not, you know, like, and if there's that many, I don't think they'll leave the city. I'm not sure. Like, I think they exist here.
You know, I would vote that we would stay in a sheltered area for at least the dark of night, and then take our chances there. If we were to choose a location to settle down for like the midnight or some darker area, I could at least protect the area a little bit.
So Brummelstone will throw out there that he's been looking around, and he noticed that about 2 blocks away, by coincidence, is the library. And it looks relatively unguarded.
Wait, a library or the library?
The library.
Oh.
I mean, you don't know if it's the library, but
Yeah. Well, it's the only library I've seen so far.
Okay.
And that it may be, you know, if we're talking about finding a place to stay down, this may be mutually beneficial in both ways. Plus, we could set it ablaze, and then we could
That would
run
be-
off. And
Yeah,
that,
that would be pretty cool.
Vasa would just say, "We can't stay here much longer. Let's just go." As
Okay.
in, like, towards the library.
Would this be considered the Great Library of Alexandria, perhaps? Maybe?
It's like, now you know how it got burned down. We were in it.
We traveled back in time.
All right, I need dex checks from everybody. The spell wore off by now, unless you're recasting it first.
Oh God, Roberto!
Oh
Can
god.
I just pillow?
I think I'm out. I can't cast it again.
Oh shit!
Oh, he learned.
Roberto
Yeah.
starts to walk on water.
I got a natural 22.
This is
No.
alright, guys.
Oh wait,
The people listening to this are gonna think we're cheating.
I bumped it. It was funny. Yes, sir.
guys, this
Dude.
is going to
good.
blow your mind, but I got a natural 15.
I got a natural almost.
Almost like 5 away, right, guys? Good.
I got a 16.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah, I got a 16 total.
How's Tin
Tin,
looking?
Tin got a mighty 6.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Vasa would have
Not yet.
actually had like tied rags on Roberto's feet just to like soften them a little bit.
You're all out of rags, and Tin is starting her own metal band.
Guys, look, my shoulders sound just like drums. Like, isn't that cool?
But obviously, again, you guys can help each other out, and let's see.
There's a reason why you never see Rogue Forged. Just saying.
That's racist.
Raise.
Anyway, so yes, you do make it to the library relatively unscathed. No one seems to detect your movement, and the library looks to be about 3 stories tall, and it has grand pillars up front and a pretty significant staircase that leads to 2 large doors that would have to be swung open to get in. There are also windows, but there's no lights inside.
I begin filling out the paperwork for a library card.
Do any of
What
us
does
have?
Raven 2 think of this? Raven 2? Where's Raven 2? I want to talk to Raven 2.
You need to speak to his full name. Raven Too Fast Too Furious.
Raven Too Fast Too Furious? Where are you?
Yeah, I summon. I guess, and like the whole time, maybe I kept him because you can keep him in like a pocket dimension. So
Can you? I forget how it works, but
I think, and then it can appear 30 feet away from you. But it
Okay.
seems like it's just like you pop them in there and they're okay for a while.
it flutters from behind Bremelstone's shoulder.
Are you saying it's pitch black inside? We can't see anything.
No, you could see if you went in. There's some of the lights still coming in, so you could take a peek in the windows if you wanted to.
Let's go in.
Yeah.
Can Brimstone check for magic? Any
Yeah.
magic booby traps or anything?
Who? Oh, yeah. Well, he can't search for traps. I mean, he could, but it's not as effective as you.
I could search for traps, but it's just walking until I find a trap.
It's
fine.
saying
Found it.
like magical
Oh,
traps. Is
found
that
a
still something
landmine.
I would be searching for, or
If you showed him a trap, he could try to do a check and see if it was magical.
so we're not in the library yet? We're like
Not
kind
quite. No, you're.
of
I
okay.
thought we were inside it, yeah.
No, you're up the stairs and hiding near the pillars. You haven't opened the grand doors yet.
Okay, I would
Gotcha.
do a check on the doors to see if there's any traps or any magics. 8 plus 6 makes 14.
Nothing other than the fact that it's locked. You don't see any problems with it.
Do we have like thieves' tools or like anybody lockpick? I don't think I have. I have smithing tools.
I have an herbalism kit. Why do I have an herbalism kit?
Why not?
I don't know. I don't even
It's
need
herbs
to
and
eat
spices.
flour.
Yeah.
We gotta use that for something this adventure.
So Vasa loses her rogue card because when she was shopping, she didn't buy a lockpicker's kit.
Oh
Oh no!
It's like everyone's just staring at Vasa.
You're saving it for the elephant. Yeah, everyone like turns to Vasa for this. We're like,
And then Vasa just like she looks the most embarrassed that you've ever seen her. She looks utterly off her game as she kind of hits her. That she's like,
Oh shit!
"Fuck! Like this is me."
Brummelstone mutters to himself, "This is why you get sent back in time." No, that's
so rats can fit into very small spaces.
Yeah.
They can like go under the space between a door and the ground. And I
Wait,
just
are
looked at the
you
YouTube
saying
video.
this because that's true, or is it something in the book?
It's because it's true of rats
Okay.
in real life. There is a YouTube video.
Sure. No, I know. I just wanted to make sure.
No rat.
But yeah, the rat's not a bad idea. Like you could.
This rat can, like, in the YouTube video, it's a very small space. So I think Ertleby can make it.
Just out of curiosity, didn't you have in the video last time we played too that justified animal actions?
Yes, the cat rock climbing. I was like, here's why cats can do this.
She just YouTube's animals to be like, "This is
I
what we
like-
can do."
That every week we have a segment called "Did You Know" with Ertleby. I'm cool with this if this is not the norm, as in like I don't want to throw you guys in the dungeon and have Ertleby just kick back and go, "Well, guys, level 10, here we come."
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. She's going to put her back out a little bit doing this, and she's never going to want to do it again. She's going to like go under and be like, ow! But she'll say, and that will be like why she doesn't do this anymore is because she puts her back out
Get a bad
here the
hip.
first time. Yeah, it's just like she doesn't want to risk it again. It's not going to hurt her combat readiness, but she's going to be sore for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. So yeah,
So
you
she-
watch as Ertleby pours herself under the door as a rat. All right. And then you like Michael Jackson back up into full form?
I look around first. I do like a little like sniffing in the air, sniff to see
Yeah.
if there's danger. Sniffy
Yep.
sniff.
Give me a check.
7.
No, it's all clear.
Oh
Well, in that
god.
case,
Don't you
Ertleby
have a-
pops back out because she thinks it's safe.
Yeah.
She's like, whoop, and then she goes to open the door.
All right. So you open the door, and as you do, you hear someone like kind of shriek in startlement, and then you can hear him running forward, and you open the door, and everyone comes in. Who's first?
Bordo.
Okay. Yep. So you start kind of coming in, but then you guys all hear somebody scuttling along in the darkness, and you can see like a silhouette, like as they kind of scamper around, freaking
Mhm.
out.
Is it one we recognize?
Well, it's just kind of a silhouette, so.
Is
But yeah, I mean,
or-
it doesn't take much. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be a leap of faith to assume it's one of them.
Okay.
So
I kind of whisper loudly, Tompkins?
No, the silhouette's much taller.
Okay, never. Well, then nothing happened. Well, yeah.
I was excited about that too. I was throwing it out.
I was just
I was
like-
maybe Tompkins is just hiding with the books.
Checking. Checking.
are we taking turns? Is this combat, or are we just kind of reacting right now?
The person ran.
Oh, he
Okay.
ran away?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Vasa would actually close the door immediately, and she would close the door. And how much light is inside the library?
Just from the windows, so you can see a little bit in here. But what you thought was maybe 3 floors of the library must be 2, because this ceiling is so high that there's probably just 1 more floor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you can see some kind of large mass in the middle of the library's main hall, but with such little light, unless somebody has low light vision or dark vision.
I have dark vision.
All right. So as you come in, what you see the others don't. Like the others aren't really, their eyes are still adjusting. They're not really getting what it is. But when you walk in, you see an enormous collection of crystals, all tied together with like thin, small ropes, bundled together. It must be like 15 feet wide in the middle, and they're all just jammed together and stuck together. Sometimes they're held together with a series of ropes. Sometimes they seem to be just kind of bonding to themselves, and it has the faintest amount of light. Almost, it's barely detectable. Like you can see it because everything's kind of black and white for you, and you see like right in the middle there's just a little bit of discoloration.
Okay.
But yeah, it's in the middle. And so as everyone else kind of walks in and is starting to look around, you immediately see this huge collection of crystals hovering in the middle of the library.
Do I see the person running?
Yeah, you saw them scamper off. They ran off essentially to the left and left the door open as they ran through.
Should we catch him before he alerts the others?
Yeah, I will say this way. There's also a huge pile of crystals over there, and I'll start chasing them.
It's floating in the middle of the...
Oh,
Yeah.
That's impressive. Okay, this way.
Vasa would actually, as soon as Brummelstone mentions that there's crystals in the center of the room, she would turn back and she would lock the library door.
Smart.
Can we barricade it too? Is there anything we can barricade it with?
You could start moving like a desk or something, certainly, yeah.
I want to go after the person.
I'll go with Brummelstone. I'll
Alright.
follow
I'll-
right behind Brummelstone.
I'll help barricade the door.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll stay back to help barricade the door briefly.
Ertleby?
Is also helping barricade the door,
All right.
and looking around to see what she sees.
So the brothers take off. You dip down the into the door, and as you run into there, you see him down the hall and getting ready to bank right.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, if I do want to get a closer look at him, is he one of the monster guys?
He is.
Okay, then fuck it. Let's kill him.
So yeah, I'll cast Ray of Frost. That's 19 plus 5
That's
to
a
hit. It takes 1d8, so 5 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Nice. So yeah, you kind of just quickly fling this ray from where the orb was, and it starts to kind of frost him over. He gets a little bit of this chilled look, and you can see some of the winds kind of coming off him as well as he starts to chill over. And you see him definitely slow down a bit. Roberto?
Nice. Take a chill pill. I
Oh, good one, bro.
I would like to close.
Make him a popsicle, buddy.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Oh my god, Batman and Robin.
I would like to close the distance between myself and the weird monster dude.
Yeah.
I think I want to take. Is he 60 feet? You said, or
Yeah, he's 60 feet, so you can double move and catch him.
I would like to take both actions to catch up right next to him.
Alright, and his turn he's going to spin around, and he's not going to know what to do, so he's going to throw his staff forward, and there's a burst of energy behind him as another one of him comes out.
Knew that was going to happen.
Like, turns around to run.
Wait.
What's up?
Oh, no, I was just like...
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out which one's the original.
The one right in front of you is. But he summoned another one, like a future self, and that guy already knows the plan. He's running.
Okay.
So, Brummelstone?
So I'm going to throw my chromatic orb at him. So it's an orb that can do any type of damage. Or in spear. So I'm going to keep with the cold damage. So hopefully...
Yep, alright.
17 plus 5.
Hits.
Alright, so it does 18.
Alright, so you throw, like, your orb almost disappears, and it looks like it fires off as a frozen orb that crashes into his side and just coats him with another layer of ice, and then your orb comes back into existence. And that looks like it really took a chunk out of him. Roberto?
Okay, alright, I draw my sword and just... Yeah, I'm not giving this guy any quarter. I just want to chop away as much as I can. I got a 10.
10? Alright. So, yeah, he kind of takes a step back and dodges that. His turn, he's just going to go on the defensive. Like, you see him raise his staff in a defensive stance. And then the other version of him, the three of you that are moving furniture and kind of blocking off the door as best you can, you can hear someone coming from... there is a kind of a walkway around this room. So where you would expect the second floor to be, but it's just a walkway. And you hear someone running upstairs, get to the edge, and he's getting ready to jump at the crystals. And it's the same guy you saw. He just looks maybe a little older. But he's getting ready to leap full on the crystals.
Vasa would immediately have told everybody, don't use your guns, we might attract attention. As she draws her bow. 17 plus 6 makes math.
23!
There you go!
That's a hit.
Okay. So that's a 5 plus 4, which makes a 9.
Alright, and then Ertleby?
So he's been shot by an arrow. Is he like mid-air, or is he just about to jump?
He's climbing, he's like on the rail, and he's getting ready to leap off into the crystals.
She has like nothing good to do right now. She's like gonna jog towards him to try and get towards the crystals and get closer.
Okay.
So she's gonna just run towards the scene of the action. So she's there in the event that he falls to like do something if he does something to the crystals.
Yeah, like I said, the crystals are about 15 feet diameter. Like that's how much space you're taking up, and they're hovering about 4 or 5 feet off the floor.
Oh man! If only she could fly. She can't fly
Tim?
yet.
Is it possible for Tin? Could it be possible for Tin to go over to the crystals and kind of clamber up on the floating pile to just basically be catch this dude?
You can start that process. I don't know
Yeah.
if you'll get up there in time, but you could certainly make a strength athletics check.
21.
Wow. Was that natural 20?
No, I'm proficient in athletics,
Okay.
so
yeah, you charge forward and jump on the crystals and start making your way up them. If you were worried at all about the crystals not supporting like any kind of like weight that's added to it because it's floating, it's not a problem. It almost feels anchored into the air itself. You just have to go hand over hand and try to rush up there as fast as you can. Go back to Brummelstone.
Let's finish this guy off. Maybe then the future version doesn't have to worry about it. Then I'm going to cast another Ray of Frost on him. Keep giving him a chill pill. Oh, I got natural 20.
What? This game.
I know,
This
today's
game.
just been fucking amazing.
We're
Lots of
killing
money.
it.
Couple ones too, but lots of 20.
Yeah. I couldn't read any of that book, and I was really mad. And he speaks a language that I can't understand. I almost don't play that game. Oh, and I got an 8 on damage, so 16.
What?
Nice.
I do, freeze.
Oh my god. Gotta look up some of those Mr. Freeze puns.
I'm not releasing this podcast.
you need to cool your head.
Oh man.
Your clock stops here. Get it? Because like the future.
Roberto?
I'm just gonna continue trying to stab this guy, just put him away. Okay, the first one was a 3.
Or
The second one
Next
was
one's a 1.
second one was 11, so
yeah, he brings up his staff and pushes you away.
Ugh.
The other one's turn. It runs, and Megan, you're not going to get up there in time. He runs, and he has the staff hoisted over his head, and he's driving the crystal into the other crystals. As he lands on it, you see the crystals light up, and this huge like surge of energy rushes through them as they all kind of come back to life, right? The crystals are crackling with energy. Vasa, it's your turn. You watch as the electricity kind of the chaotic energy starts to build up, and an arc of it is getting ready to build up and shoot right into Ertleby.
No!
What do you do,
Why
Vasa?
did I run towards this?
Because she's running towards it, and it's getting ready to crash right into her full throttle.
I would use basically my movement and action to catch up to Ertleby, tackle her out of the way, and using my final cunning action to sort of tumble/roll us to the side or something away from the incoming impending beam.
So you run forward, and you do manage to successfully push her out of the way.
Whew.
And you try to tumble with her. The energy crashes down, and it hits the spot where you are at. But the energy is still surging and lashing all over. After Voss, and then it's going to lash out at several of you. So let's see who else it goes after. It's going after Jesus. Randomly, it's crashing after.
Tiny Tin.
No, it crashes after Tin once, and then it's 2 more bursts come at you, Vasa.
Shit.
No.
What's your AC, Tin? Like 15?
16.
All right. One of the arcs does hit Vasa, and you watch as Vasa explodes in blue energy and disappears.
Can't beat time.
Can't be fun at time.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to World Walkers. If you want to keep up on news, follow us on Twitter at WorldWalkersPod, or give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/WorldWalkersPod. If you want early episodes, exclusive art, and more, check us out on patreon.com/WorldWalkers. Keep an eye on our Patreon because we're about to announce something that you may find pretty interesting if you liked this episode. Thanks again to Syrinscape, who provided the music and sound effects you heard today. Visit them at Syrinscape.com.
Okay, it's not as bad. It's probably just another time jump. It's not like... Okay.
Yeah, it's not like an eyeball flew and hit
I can't...
Ertleby in the face or anything.
I mean, I thought Roberto can see it, but that's
Oh my god.
what That's what he would say if he. Yeah.
Ertleby?
She's gonna go right on the wall.
Okay, so this is a little crazy. Bear with me. The spells I had equipped today didn't really make much sense, but one of them
So I changed
for
them.
no. One of them was locate object, and that lets me locate something that's within 1,000 feet of me.
Yeah.
But it does not specify where in time it is. And as we all know, time is but another dimension.
The loopholes are strong in this one.
I
I love the appendix because it'll be like, short rest, see resting. Bitch, tell me the number. That's not my job. You want to go to ours.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to the R department for that.
Yeah, it's down the hall and to the left.
Yeah,
Ask for anyone but Lydia. She's a bitch. Then you get there and it's just name tag says Lydia, and you're like, fuck me.
Yeah.
What's that? Is the voice back? I hear something outside.
I can type.
Shh, grandmother.
Voice?
Grandmother, why don't you turn into a rat and see if you cannot smell this library?
Oh, that's a very good idea. I think I'm going to do that. No, okay, it's not the voice. I'm pretty sure it's some people and they're coming this way. Oh, I'm being too loud. Sorry. They're oh God. Oh.
So I thought I was texting Vasa.
What happened?
What?
I was sending messages to who I thought was Vasa. And
don't worry, we're on Overbus. We'll go back in time. Doodly, doodly, doodly.
Oh, did you send it to Olivia?
I sent it to Olivia, so it's at 12:13. You hear something outside. And then Ertleby's like, oh, the voices. And I was like, I wanted to warn Vasa, so I was like, Vasa, like, you hear people getting closer. The louder Ertleby gets. And then I looked at who I was sending it to, and I was like, F-U-C-K. And then I wrote, pretend you're Vasa.
Wait, no, I got that message.
I just sent it to you. I copied and pasted.
I thought it was the voice, and I thought I was supposed to pretend I was Vasa, and that was the voice. The voice just told me to pretend to be Vasa.
God damn it.
Okay.
So I've decided I'm going to put bloopers at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.